What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel. Thanks for tuning in. It means a lot and I appreciate it. I'm out and about today up in Durham, North Carolina, visiting a plantation from the 1800s. It's getting a little warm outside. I'm wearing all black. So I said, let me get in this air conditioner real quick. And while I'm in here, go ahead and make my video for today. I wanna make this video in particular for people who may be married with children and the marriage isn't going that well. And by not going well, it's at a place where you're considering divorce. Maybe divorce has already been mentioned and you have children and you're trying to come to the conclusion, make the best decision. Should I go and rip the family apart, or should I stay for the sake of the children? That's who this video is for. You've been married and y'all have children together. The marriage itself is not doing that great. If you're a man, you're not getting along with your wife and you're thinking about getting a divorce. If you're a woman, maybe you're not getting along with your husband and you're thinking about getting a divorce. And the main thing that's keeping you from even maybe mentioning it to your spouse or moving forward with it is, I don't want to rip up the family, so should I stay and keep my mouth closed and endure for the sake of the children? I want to give my perspective on that. I was married for 20 years. Within 5 years of being married, due to a lot of situations and circumstances and events, we pretty much knew that this was not going to work. Our marriage was not going to survive. And around that same time, we had our first child, my oldest daughter, who's about to turn 21. And so we decided to stay together for the child. And eventually, years later, my son was born. So again, continuing that process of staying together for the child. And when we got divorced, I'll never forget, my daughter, who's the oldest, said to me, "Dad, if you all knew that you were not fit for one another and that the marriage was over, why trick us into thinking that you all were happy? I wish you would have just gotten the divorce." Now, that's what my oldest told me. Because sometimes as parents, we can think we're doing the children a favor by staying in a marriage that we no longer want to be in and that is already over. We can think we're doing the honorable thing by continuing to live with someone in a relationship, in a marriage, for the sake of the children. And I'm going to say this, and we underestimate the intelligence of children. We actually believe that we are able to fool and bamboozle children as if they cannot read the energy that's in the home. We actually believe that we can finesse them into believing that we are happy and that the marriage is great. The only way, this is my opinion, the only way a couple should ever stay together just for the kids is if they have the ability to be as cordial and as loving towards one another for the sake of the children, as long as the children are in the home. So it's not just staying together for the sake of the children, but if you're going to stay together, then you're going to have to continue to be loving, engaging, and affectionate towards one another. The husband and the wife has to be able to still show value and appreciate all the things that come with a happy marriage. You still have to be able to do that while you're not feeling that in order to, for the sake of the children. And most people cannot do that. Most people are not going to play hypocrisy for that long when they can go ahead and be free from the other person. So that's why my perspective and my opinion is not to try to stay together just for the sake of the children. If you're going to stay together for the relationship. Stay together for the love that y'all have towards one another. Stay together because y'all are both willing to do the work. Stay together because you realize we're better together than apart. Stay together, but you cannot just say we're going to stay together just for the children when the children by nature require a healthy environment in order for them to grow into healthy young adults. It is better for two parents to be apart from one another and can still show appreciation to one another even though they're no longer together anymore. That is better for the children to be able to see them get along even though they're no longer together in the house in a marriage. It's better for the children to be able to see that. But trying to live in an environment that's already stressful, because most of the time when you're going through a divorce, most of the time, y'all let me know how y'all see this in the comments. Most of the time, at least one of the two, one of the adults, one of the ones that's in the marriage is gonna want out of it really, really. I mean, they have had enough. They're tired of it, right? They're already like they're pulling their hair out. They don't care if they lose everything. I want out. I'm gone. I'm done. I'm finished. This is it. Most of the time, people are feeling that way. So how in the world can you harness that and try to stay together in just the name of the children? It's not going to work. And the children are going to suffer because they can see it. When me and my ex-wife stayed together all those years, we did it, and I've said this before in other videos, we did it in a very unhealthy state. We wasn't arguing and screaming and shouting and things like that. We wasn't doing that. But my son and my daughter never saw a healthy, affectionate, loving, value-filled relationship between their mother and myself. They just saw two people living in the same house, kind of going their own ways, doing their own thing, of course, loving the children, but they never saw a healthy relationship while we were married. They never saw it. And that's the whole purpose of family, is so that I can present myself as the type of husband that my son would be able to follow. My daughter, my ex-wife, would be able to present herself as a wife that my daughter would be able to follow. And then the family continues and goes on. But they never saw that. So their whole idea and image of husband and wife, family, marriage, it's going to be distorted. They never saw it. We didn't do the good that we thought we was going to do. And like I said, my daughter actually said, "Why did you not go ahead and get a divorce when we were young. I feel like this was all a deception. And I had to apologize. You live long enough to realize sometimes you make decisions that you think is good, that you think is best, that you think is honorable, and you live long enough to realize maybe it really wasn't the best decision. But anyway, like I said, if you're going through a divorce, if you're thinking about it, and it's the kids that's holding you up, don't stay together just for the kids. Let's get in the comments. Anybody ever been through it? Anybody can identify where I'm coming from? Let's talk about it in the comments and try to help somebody. Y'all be blessed.